Hi, my name's Nabil and welcome to this brief tutorial on editing the appearance of schedules in Revit. By the end of this tutorial you'll be able to resize columns, resize rows, remove blank rows, group cells, add images to cells and create custom annotation families. So let's begin. So to get started I'm going to go ahead and create another revision schedule, so bear with me. Go for a sheet list. I'm going to add a number of fields to this, so I'm going to go for the sheet number, the sheet name. I'm going to go for the current revision date, and the current revision description, and I'm going to go ahead and press OK. I'm going to tile my views, like so, and now I'm going to pull my sheet list onto my sheet, so drag and drop. Okay. So I'm just going to make a few adjustments. Firstly, if I highlight sheet list here, I'm just going to go ahead and rename it to revision schedule. Okay. I'm now going to change some of the column sizes. So I'm going to hit resize. I'm going to make this column 15 millimeters. I'm going to make this column 80. I'm going to make this column, let's say 10. Let's resize this column and make it 20, and the last one I'm going to resize it to 70, which makes the overall 995 millimeters. So if I just zoom out there, tad, and just drag and drop that to there we have our revision schedule. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to tackle is the blank line here. So in order to remove this blank line, we need to go back to the schedule, go to appearance, and then turn off this, which is blank row before data. Let's just go ahead and press OK to that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is just resolve these titles. So again, back to here, and I'm now going to go to the formatting. So sheet number, I want it to be vertical and central. Sheet name can be horizontal and left. Current revision I think is going to be vertical and central, as is current revision date, and then horizontal and left is good there. Okay, that's looking better. So now what I want to do is introduce you to the group function. So what that enables us to do is to highlight two cells, and when you highlight the two cells and press group, it puts a line above the two cells. You can clearly see it here on the sheet. You are now able to type sheet info, whatever you see as fit. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is look at adding an image to this schedule. So if I put my mouse cursor in the schedule within this cell and go ahead and hit resize, we have a total width of 195. If I put my mouse cursor back in this cell and hit resize here, it tells us we have a total height of 10.5833. Now I'm not too overjoyed by that, so what I'm going to do is type in 28 there. Okay. Now I have a logo that I want to put into that cell in Photoshop, and I've already generated one. It has our logo on it, and it also has some text in white with revision schedule written in this darker area here. The image itself is 19.5 centimeters by 2.8 centimeters. So again, it's the same as the proportions of the cell in Revit. So in an ideal world, this should just fit perfectly into that cell. So I'm going to go back to Revit. I'm going to put my mouse cursor in the cell, and I'm going to go ahead and press Insert Image. And I'm going to choose this image here, which is the image that you just saw in Photoshop. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Open. Now, if I maximize this, you can clearly see that it spans the cell and fits perfectly. But if I go and tile my views now, the sheet says something different. This isn't an ideal situation for us. It's just not right. Unfortunately, I cannot find a way to resolve it within the schedule. The theory seems to work, proportion-wise, but for some reason the image just doesn't want to stretch the entire width of that cell. So I'm going to come to the schedule and highlight the cell that's causing us the problem. I'm going to go back to Modify Schedule and Quantities, and I'm going to clear the cell. This is the workaround that I found. Okay, I'm going to go to the Application button, New, Annotation symbol. I'm going to choose a metric generic annotation and press Open. I'm going to select this text and delete it. I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I'm going to insert an image, and I'm going to go for the schedule. I'm going to press Open. And then I'm going to go ahead and place that like so. Before I go any further, I'm going to take a look at the properties of this image. You can see its width is 812.4 and its height is 116.8. I want the width of this to be 195. So I'm going to highlight the text there, 195, and press enter. It keeps its proportions, which is good. I'm now going to move this to the insertion point here. I don't think that took, so I'm just going to go ahead and zoom and pan over and do that again. There to there. Lovely. Okay, the next thing I want to do is give this an outline. So I'm going to go to Create, Line, Rectangle, and I'll leave this as generic annotations. From there to there, like so. Okay, I'm now going to go ahead and save this out. Save as Family. And I'm going to go ahead and put this into Revit Files, Families. I'm going to override the logo. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and just call this logo 1. Save. And I'm going to load this into my project. I'm now in a position to go ahead and place this like so. And there you can see that the logo fits happily on top of the schedule.